In this next part, I'm going to cover the hoax of the 6-Day War, both of them, and the idea of the ring.
The withdrawal that took place was the worst possible you could ever imagine. If you brought a military commander and asked him to put the worst possible withdrawal plan, nothing could have been worse than this.
During the retreat across the Sinai, the Egyptians suffered thousands of casualties and lost hundreds of tanks.
The damage was...
Hey Dave, can you explain this real quick? Because I'm getting reports of mass yarmulke twisting and whatnot.
Nobody died and nobody got hurt in what's called the 6-Day War. That's a fact. All the other wars I've talked about, proven fact. Now, what a lot of you can't get your minds around because you don't have time, because you're too busy dining on the lies. The deuce of Satan fills your mind. So let me explain this to you. People are born and then they die. Do you understand that? And there are many ways that that happens. But each one of those people are real and has a name and a history and is not to be taken lightly and grouped together in numbers. So any one of you false witness liars that comes by and says 2 people, 10 people, 20 people, to shut your mouth. Give the name, the age, and a brief description of the life that you claimed no longer is. And then you give proper respect and a way to verify your witness of death. Do I make myself clear? Now pay attention, because after this, if you continue to lie and say that there was a 6-day war, you are a liar. Fact. I've told you for the last time, all you liars. It doesn't matter what you think of me. Boo-hoo.
Doesn't matter what you think of me either.
That's right, Tompo. It just doesn't matter. You know why, you liars? Because I'm telling you the truth. And you can't handle the truth.
Oh, is this where I do my Tom Cruise part?
Any imagination. We never thought that we could do this kind of damage.
These blackened, twisted lumps of metal were once a mighty Egyptian division. What kind of power could have inflicted such all-consuming destruction? There has been speculation that Israel used a terrifying weapon, napalm.
Napalm has begun coming into Allied headquarters of a large Iraqi convoy far to the east. The convoy was reported to be on the highway leading.
Let's fast forward to Iraq. Nice 7 in the sand. The line in the sand.
Under the clouds.
The air attack was relentless. Bombs were dropped on the front and rear of the procession, trapping.
Now what you're going to have to do when you watch these videos is notice that there's nothing there, man.
But because of the reflections,
it's a big hoax. You're being shown CGI at best.
I was able to still
and in fact, I'm going to slow down several points to where you can't help but notice that you're being goofed on. So I'll explain this to you one more time, guys, because it doesn't matter to me what you think about me. It just doesn't. You hating me doesn't make any of these people dead by war. And I love that. I love the fact that I can torture you deathmongers with life. And you can't do nothing about it because you're so corrupt and wicked. Notice, as always, the tires are missing, just like with Chris Dorner and everything else. These are just scrap vehicles, and you people are calling this the highway of death. Look around. Do you see any evidence of bombs going off? Do you? Well, do you, punk?
This was an armed retreat, and when we were bombing,
Now let's listen to
we were
a liar.
receiving constant fire,
Hi-
all types of anti.
Would mean that Yellow Shavit squadron could strike the Egyptians at will. He can confirm that napalm bombs were used, and to devastating.
Okay, you can see that's not a column of tanks, right? You can see that, right? Right? It's nothing. These videos down so you can see for yourself that there's nothing being bombed. You can tell that you're seeing CGI. And you got liars like this, Mr. 96.
Kind of a bomb.
Essam Taraz was one of the Egyptian soldiers on the ground who witnessed the terrifying napalm attack.
All the sky was red color. Black and red. It is very difficult to explain.
You go over the target, and then you feel the wow of the fire that came up. It's frightening even to think about it now, because the tank was caught in fire, and the black smoke, like a huge chimney, sucks this smoke up into the sky.
Okay, all you death
Still,
liars,
tanks and
Satan
trucks were
worshippers.
engulfed in an
That's right, you're
inferno.
worshiping death, so hey man, that's the
Tanks
facts. Why don't we
and
take a look at your
trucks
bodies? You sure
were
you want to go with
engulfed.
this as being your final answer? You sure you want to go with this as being your final answer? How do you get up? How do you do that? You get up and you just witness to
This is
death
film of the horrific aftermath of
because
the
you just
napalm airstrike.
saw something
It
at
has
some
never been
point and you
screened
didn't actually
before.
look to make sure you knew what you were talking about.
Yet for the Egyptians, the nightmare of their Sinai retreat.
How many of you actually looked? And that goes for everything in your life. You run around and you talk about things as if they're real, and you haven't even checked them out.
Wednesday, June 7th, 1967. The Six-Day War was barely 2 days old, and the Egyptian army was disintegrating in the Sinai Desert. Yet even in the searing heat of early June, the Israeli advance showed no sign of letting up. How could two armies, both used to such conditions, perform so differently? On the morning of Monday, June 5th, 1967, Israel fired the first shots in what would be the Six-Day War. Egypt was hit by a massive preemptive airstrike. Squadrons of Israeli jet fighters swooped down on Egyptian air bases.
Each one in the formation knew exactly where to aim and where the bombs should hit. And luckily enough, this 5th of June, there was no wind whatsoever. So wherever you aimed, the bombs went this way.
We had to pull the airplane up in order to gain altitude around 8,000 to 9,000 feet. And then we dived over the target and released the bombs.
The first target for Sever's Mirage fighter jet was Bir Tamada Airfield in the Sinai.
Per aircraft per 24 hours. The maximum that can be done.
But was this really the limit of what could be
Yeah, now
achieved?
listen to him give you the more code. What's the number in between, you think?
He was running some numbers one day and realized that
Yeah,
the Israeli Air Force
you see how it's always
turn
going to be
around an
code.
aircraft after a mission.
Now you just about
In
done
6 to 8
playing
minutes.
in the sand there, people. Nobody died, nobody got hurt in the so-called hoax 6-day war. Fact. Now watch the little actors at the end give you a little melodrama. Maybe one will even date you. Maybe you can go ahead and write him and be a pen pal and say, you look so sexy in your little flight outfit before you went to bomb the real bad Egyptians and those bad people in the desert. Can you write me and maybe send me proof that anybody died and maybe proof that anybody got hurt on your little missions?
Memorize every detail of their mission.
The dummy air bases mentioned are actually little-scale models and not actually used. The pilots shown are actually actors, and there was no war, nobody died, and nobody got hurt.
100% fact, Jack. 100% fact.
Hey, thanks for your support, Papa. This one's really got him on the run.
They had to concentrate in one target, and they knew it by heart. You wake them up in the middle of the night.
You blow the smoke up their ass, Mr. Seven. Nobody bomb, nobody get hurt. The potato sack is crying.
Progressed at a different pace.